During my 8-year wedding anniversary party, my husband's sister stood up in front of everyone and swore I was cheating, but the moment I plugged my phone into the television, she realized she had just ruined her own life. My name is Lena, and this night is still the most unforgettable of my marriage. Before I take you through every detail, please hit like, subscribe to Winds of Thought, and drop your country in the comments so I can thank you personally. Now let me walk you through what happened. It was supposed to be a warm celebration. Our backyard was strung with fairy lights. The dining table groaned under dishes and a 3-tier cake. And somewhere a playlist of slow jazz was playing. Friends were laughing on the patio. It looked perfect. But I had a knot in my stomach. Because across the room, my husband Ryan's younger sister, Kara, kept watching me. Not a casual glance, a steady, satisfied stare. Like a cat who already knows where the mouse will run. Kara and I never got along. From the first family dinner Ryan brought me to, she treated me like an outsider, wearing a borrowed dress. At first it was small things, a tight smile, a compliment wrapped in a question. But over the years, those turned into sharper lines. You really landed on your feet with Ryan. Must be nice not having to worry about money. Words that sound sweet until you taste the bitterness underneath. For 8 years, I let them slide. But that night, something felt different. Kara was whispering to aunts and cousins, and every few minutes, someone would glance my way, then quickly look down. Ryan squeezed my hand and asked if I was okay. I lied and said I was just tired. Truth was, I felt a storm coming. About an hour later, everyone gathered in the living room to cut the cake. Ryan put his arm around my shoulder and said, 8 years! Can you believe it? I laughed and said barely. People raised their phones to film. But before the knife touched the frosting, a voice cut through the room. Wait, before anyone celebrates. The room turned. Kara was standing near the fireplace, phone in hand, wearing a smile that didn't reach her eyes. Ryan frowned and said, Kara, not now. But she stepped forward anyway, raising her voice. I think everyone deserves to know the truth first. My heart slammed against my ribs. I already knew. Kara lifted her phone and announced loudly, Your perfect wife has been cheating on you. The room exploded into gasps. Someone dropped a glass. Ryan's arm slowly fell from my shoulder as he stared at his sister in disbelief. What are you talking about? Kara turned the screen so everyone could see messages, photos, a conversation between me and another man. Intimate. Damaging. The whispers grew like fire. Some people looked disgusted. Others looked confused. Ryan's face went pale. Lena? He said quietly. The truth doesn't shout, it waits. For a moment, the room spun. Kara watched me, waiting for tears, for panic, for a confession. Instead, I took a slow breath. And then I smiled. Kara blinked. Why are you smiling? I looked at her calmly, then at Ryan, then at the guests. You see, those messages didn't scare me. Because a week earlier, I had already found something Kara didn't know I knew. I set the cake knife down gently. Then I nodded toward the large television mounted on the wall. Since you brought your phone, I said softly, why don't we connect it to the TV so everyone can see the evidence properly? The room went silent. Kara frowned. What? I kept smiling. So nobody misses a detail. For the first time that night, Kara looked nervous. The guests murmured in agreement. Someone said, that makes sense. Kara forced a laugh and handed her phone to Ryan. Fine, if you want to embarrass yourself further, go ahead. Ryan hesitated, then plugged it in. A second later, Kara's screen appeared on the big television. The fake messages now glowed for everyone. Whispers returned. Those do look real, a cousin said. Ryan stared at the screen, then turned to me. Lena, you need to explain this. I nodded. I will. But first, let's make sure we see everything. Kara crossed her arms, confident again. But I didn't touch her phone. I stayed exactly where I was and smiled wider. Kara's eyes narrowed. You think this is funny? I shook my head. No, I just think this moment has been coming for a long time. Ryan's parents shifted in their seats. Guests leaned in. I spoke slowly. Kara had never wanted me in this family. From day one, she made sure I knew I didn't belong. Kara rolled her eyes and said, "Oh, please. Here comes the victim act." But I continued. The small comments, the jokes about me not being good enough, the whispered suggestions that I married Ryan for his money. Ryan turned to his sister. "Is that true?" Kara waved a hand. "Everyone teases." I shook my head. "They were never jokes." Then I said, "But something interesting happened last week." Kara's shoulders tightened. I explained, "I got a security alert on my phone. Someone tried to log into my accounts from an unrecognized device." Kara quickly interrupted, "That happens all the time. Means nothing." I agreed most of the time it doesn't. But this time, the alert also showed the location of that device. Ryan looked at Kara. She forced another laugh. "Are you accusing me of hacking you now?" Instead of answering, I walked to the television. The fake messages still glowed on screen. I turned to the guests and said, "When I saw that alert, I decided to dig deeper." Kara's confidence cracked. Ryan noticed too. "What are you trying to say, Lena?" I looked directly at Kara. "I'm saying those messages didn't surprise me." Kara's face went pale. She snapped back. "They're real." I shook my head calmly. Ryan stared at me. "If they aren't real, what are they?" I smiled again. "Something very interesting." Kara stepped forward. "Ryan, don't listen to her. She's trying to confuse everyone." But Ryan didn't move. He was waiting. The whole room was waiting. Finally, I said the words Kara had been dreading. Those messages were created from the same device that tried to break into my phone. Someone gasped. Ryan slowly turned to his sister. His voice was low and heavy. "Kara, what did you do?" For a moment, Kara didn't answer. Then she laughed, a sharp, brittle sound. "Oh my God, you're actually trying to blame me?" She looked around for support. No one laughed with her. The guests were stone silent. Ryan's mother covered her mouth. Kara tried again. "Ryan, come on, you know I would never." I stepped closer to the TV. Then this should be easy to explain. I picked up the remote. Last week after that security alert, I asked a digital forensics friend to help me trace the source. Kara's eyes widened for just a second. "And do you know what they found?" I pressed a button. The fake messages vanished, replaced by a clean report, dates, login attempts, IP records, and one line that made the room freeze. Device owner, Kara Mitchell laptop. The silence was absolute. Then whispers exploded. That says, Kara's computer. Ryan stared at the screen, then at his sister. "Kara, what is this?" Kara shook her head fast. "It's fake. She made it up." But her voice was shaking. I stayed calm. "Actually, that report is from a certified security firm." Ryan pointed at the screen again. "Then why does it say your laptop?" Kara's desperation grew. "I don't know. Someone must have used my computer." But Ryan's face had hardened. He looked like he didn't recognize his own sister. Then I added, "Kara didn't just try to hack my accounts." Kara froze. She knew what came next. Ryan frowned. "What do you mean?" I looked directly at Kara. Those fake messages were created 2 days after something else happened. Kara whispered, "Stop." But I kept going. 2 days after I discovered money missing from the family business account, Ryan blinked. "What?" Kara's voice rose to a shout. "That's not true." I pressed another button. The screen changed again. Bank statements appeared. Transfers. Moving money out of the family business account. Every single one connected to the same name, Kara Mitchell. Some people burned bridges just to watch the fire. The room went deathly quiet. Ryan's mother whispered, "Kara, no." Ryan stared at the screen like he couldn't breathe. "How much?" Kara didn't answer. His voice hardened. "How much money did you take?" Kara's shoulders started shaking. "Just a few transfers," I spoke quietly. "It was over $82,000. Gasps. Ryan closed his eyes. When he opened them, his voice was cold. "So let me understand this. You stole from the family business. And when Lena found out, you tried to destroy her marriage to protect yourself." Kara's face twisted. "I did it for you." Ryan looked stunned. "For me?" Kara shouted she was going to turn you against your own family. Ryan shook his head slowly. No, you did this to yourself. Tears filled Kara's eyes, but no one defended her. No one moved to comfort her. The truth was right there on the screen, glowing for everyone. For a long moment, the room was completely still. Then Ryan turned to me. His expression had changed, confusion gone, replaced by regret. Lena, I'm sorry. I nodded softly. I know. Ryan looked back at the television one last time, then at his sister. You need to leave. Kara looked around desperately, at her parents, at the guests, at anyone. No one stopped her. Slowly, she picked up her purse and walked to the door. When it clicked shut behind her, the air in the room shifted. The whispers faded. The tension dissolved. Ryan walked back to my side and took my hand. This time, he didn't let go. After a few seconds, a friend cleared his throat and said, "So, are we still cutting the cake?" A few nervous laughs. Ryan looked at me. "Do you still want to celebrate?" I smiled. Yes, because this night isn't just our anniversary anymore. It's the night the truth finally came out. And the person who tried to destroy my life ended up exposing herself in front of everyone she wanted to impress. If this story hit home for you, like the video and subscribe to Winds of Thought, and tell me in the comments, would you have connected the phone to the TV?